This is Black Light, two worlds of myself being in the Nation of Islam and being in the United States of America. My mama stopped going when I was at 7. We're going to fast forward it. We're going to come back later to when I was 7 and gradually work our way back up. But I'm going to fast forward to when I was living on the west side of Detroit, a street called Wildermere, located between Dexter, Linwood, Davidson, and Finkel, which is 5 miles. Then you got 6 miles, 7 miles, and 8 miles. And so around the age of 12, 13, I was going to a elementary school called Custer Elementary, named after Custer, the General Custer. The white boys was going there. I'm from the east side. I was born on the east side, Alexandria near Hastings, all over there. And when I came over on the west side, it was like another world again. And while I was on the west side, I went to the school called Custer. There was more Caucasians going there than originals, than blacks. So they didn't want us there. They tried to start something, so they hit a fellow musician of mine named Bobby Franklin in the mouth. They put a rock in a snowball and hit him in the mouth with the snowball. He started bleeding. The next day we went back to school. We got him. Now that touched off a battle, a war that would last through elementary, to junior high, through high school. They were just beginning to, this was just before they built the John C. Lodge Expressway. They was trying to move them out, and so they could build this expressway, John C. Lodge. So they were selling their houses over there, and blacks was swooping them up, and it was overwhelming of blacks coming from the east side. And so we started battling with them. They were, back in those days, they looked like the Fonz. On happy days, they had their cigarettes rolled up in their t-shirt sleeves, and they had tattoos, wore skinny jeans and pointy-toe shoes, had ducktails and pompadours, and it was hillbillies, See, I fought hillbillies on the east side. And them some tough guys, they don't want you, they don't want a nigga to beat them. So, we just started sticking them and busting caps at them, But on the, we knew how to make zip guns, and all that kind of stuff. We had switchblade knives, and I had 2 of them. And the Italians, they like switchblades. But the Jews was a different breed, because they owned the garments, clothing stores, and the supermarkets, and the drugs, and the grocery stores. And they were mostly into retail and wholesale. And the Italians, they had gangs. They had motorcycle gangs. The Jews did too, and they had just plain gangs, and they used to have hot rods, what you call hot rods. They'd get an old jalopy and fix it up, and they drag on Finkel. They used to drag up on Finkel and Dexter, you know, and so they'll see us on the corner because the brothers would hang out on the corners and doo-wop. We be singing, you know, we'll be singing even before the Temps, the Coasters, you know, the Drifters, you know, the Miracles was out, you know, and other old kind of time groups. And on the corner and on the playground, we'll play some hoops because we had a big playground. And we had we had 3 baseball diamonds and one field where we played football. All of it was on the same field. It was an enormous playground. That's where our fights would take place, you know. And when we went to school, one time when I was going to junior high, I went to post junior high. That was a school located in the back of Fitzgerald where Stevie Wonder went to school at. It was a handicap school, you know. And so we had a race ride up there at the school, right in the school. We were beating up teachers, and we had a whole lot of brothers that didn't go to school that would come up there to help us combat these white boys. This is documented in the Detroit News, Free Press, in the late 50s, early 60s. Because these little riots took place up until around, I say, 61. So we're gonna talk about one incident on the next video.